this live. Today, I want to talk about misconceptions about blindness. So let's see if some people is going to pop in on this live right quick because they have so many misconceptions when it comes to a person that is blind or visually impaired. Like, still to this day, people think that blindness is only being totally blind, and that's not true. For you that watch me all the time, y'all know I have a guide dog named Sam, and the first initial question that I get when people see Sam and I out, they ask me, if I'm in the military. Like I say all the time, I know I probably look like a walking psych patient because of all the tattoos and piercings and stuff that I have. So people probably initially go to that. Oh, maybe she was in the military or she's a psych patient, you know. But everybody that is blind is not totally blind like my condition, and they have so many different genetic mutations of my condition, which is called retinitis pigmentosa. My specific one that I have, it affects my peripheral. So I have the amount of vision as in I was looking through a McDonald's straw. I also have night blindness, and I also see flashes and floaters throughout the day. If y'all need a visual, I have a visual of it on my Instagram, and my Instagram name is Melissa Jackson, and the E in the Melissa is a 3. So go check it out, because sometimes people need a visual stimulation of it. Now, it's not like 100% accurate. It's just to give you just the gist of it, just a little bit, you know. I have a dear friend to me that has retinitis pigmentosa as well, and she has no central vision. She has peripheral, but that has declined as well. So now all she has is she could know if it's she has light perception. Before that, she was able to manage to see if it was colors or shapes in front of her. Now she's not able to make that out anymore. So my whole thing is blindness is a spectrum. And also, just because you might have a uncle or an aunt that is blind and their eyes is discolored, does not mean that everybody that is blind eyes are going to be discolored, or you might see somebody that's blind and their eyes are crossed. Everybody's is not going to be like that, because once again, we all have different eye conditions. And before I even knew that I was going blind, when I was in my 20s, my boyfriend, a boyfriend of mine, used to tell me, when I would stare at him for too long, one of my eyes would go to drifting. Me not knowing back then that I have been slowly going blind over time. So that's why I always come on here and I try to educate and talk about blindness, because that's one of the main reasons I get bullied, or people say that, I'm not blind, because they're so used to seeing somebody that's blind that maybe their eyes are closed, or maybe they are 100% totally blind, or maybe their eyes shake, or maybe their eyes are crossed. Everybody is not like that. Blindness is a spectrum. Or you may see somebody and they have their mobility cane. Y'all know that's the long white cane that helps a blind person navigate. Some use it, some don't. And then that person might be looking at their phone. Now you're questioning in your head, is that person blind? I come on here and talk about it because, of course, it's my life that I live, but also before I knew that I was going blind, I used to see this man And he would drive sometimes, and then he would get out of his car and use his mobility cane. And I used to be like, what the freak is going on? Is he blind or what? Then I'd be like, he got to see something because he's driving, right? Well, let me tell you how God put certain people throughout your path. Um, End up finding out that this man has the same eye condition that I have. And when you go from driving and then you told that you can't drive no more, or you have people that you reach out to help you, that you think are going to help you, and then they don't, it puts you in situations to where you be like, F this, man, I'm supposed to drive. And I caught him on one of those days. I can say that because I did that a lot. Like, I know that I wasn't supposed to be driving, but then I didn't have no help. And then it's just the whole initial, you can't drive no more and you got to sit here and wait on somebody. Like, it's not what's up. So that's why I always come on here and I always preach about blindness is a spectrum, because I don't want y'all to be dumbfounded like I was. Like, I literally did not know. So, and then I know y'all heard about Donna Goodo that is from Port Arthur, Texas. And I know y'all seen her on the news when she was saying, POP, hold it down. And then the man say, you were the driver in the getaway car. And she was like, no. And she was saying she was blind. And he was like, you could see. And then she was like, barely. You know, I was one of them that was kicking and thought it was funny, honey. Whole time I was going blind myself and didn't even know it. Like, it's crazy. So now I do a whole bunch of self-reflections on, oh, this makes sense now. This why I couldn't see this, or this why that particular day I couldn't see the steps, or this is why when we was playing softball I couldn't see the ball, or I have a whole bunch of aha moments, if that makes sense. You know, I remember back in the day, the MySpace days, I was looking at my phone and it was dark. I had the lights off in my room and I was looking at my phone and I could feel my pupils of my eyes trying to adjust. You know how the cameras do, how they sometimes, well, back in the day, I know they used to have those cameras where you could hear it, the lens trying to focus. Well, that's how my pupils on my eyes was feeling when I was trying to look at that phone on MySpace that day. And I was like, what the is going on? Why my eyes is doing this? And then a couple of years down the line, I get into a fight. And that's how I found out that I was, excuse me, that I was going blind, because the girl that I had a fight with, I thought she hit me from the back, but she really hit me from the side, and my peripheral was already gone at that time, and I didn't even really notice it because I still had 20/20 vision. But anyway, needless to say, Miss Thing had a whole bunch of rings on her fingers, and she blacked my eye out, and I thought she had did damage. So that's why I had went to go check the first time. I had initially went to go check to the emergency room to see if any type of corneas was torn or anything in my eye. And come to find out, no, I just had a black eye. And she hit me in my peripheral, and I didn't see it coming, literally. So it's just like a whole bunch of aha moments that I have now. So it is very crucial to get your eyes checked at least yearly, to make sure that you don't have anything going on with them. Now, I have another friend that is so dear to me too, and she's totally blind. And it's so crazy. And when I tell you she's totally blind, y'all, she sees black. She's one of the 10% that sees nothing at all. And she has a condition that could have been cured. And she was going back and forth to the eye doctor, telling them something is going on, and they was telling her no. Now here it is. She had a condition that could have been cured, and they telling her she tripping, and now she's totally blind. Now, she could have sued them, but y'all, it's so hard to sue these doctors these days. They get into cahoots with each other, and it's just so, it's so hard. It's so hard. But I pray for her every day because at first she had a hard time adjusting, a hard time gathering that, she had lost her sight. So she was severely depressed. She even had became suicidal. And it's just crazy because like when you're not born a certain way and then you have something happen to you and you realize your friends ain't your friends, your family not your family, and hey, I got to get off my ass and figure this thing out, and then it's hard for you to figure it out. It makes you have a certain type of hate within yourself with people, and then you're already mad because why, Lord? Why did you have to take my sight from me? So it's difficult. So that's why, another reason why I come on here and I talk and I advocate and I try to tell other people with disabilities that, you have to fight for your rights and you have to advocate for yourself. And like, okay, I'm gonna say this. I'm in the process of getting a whole bunch of dental work done. So I had went to the dentist, and I didn't know this at the point that he had in my chart that I am blind. I don't know who wrote it in there. Evidently he did. So then he had came in and I had my phone out. And so he was like, I thought your chart say you blind. I said, and I am. He was like, you don't look blind. So then I had to check him and tell him about himself. It's crazy. So I am constantly having to advocate and talk about my condition, my situation, regardless if it's on social media or if it's out and about in my everyday life. People just don't get it. They act like being blind is this medal of honor. Like, why would I lie and say that I am? Why would I be riding the paratransit, the disability bus? Why am I not driving and I used to drive? Oh, why do I have a guide dog? Do they just give guide dogs out like that? Like, people just don't get it. I would rather be like everybody else, still driving, don't have to have a dog, because having a guide dog is a lot of work. I would rather not have to learn all this technology and assistive stuff that I have to learn because of my situation. I would rather just be regular like everybody else. But so happened, God chose this life for me. So instead of me feeling sorry for myself, which I did go through that some at a period of time, and then, people, and I was one of them, oh, ain't nobody gonna look at me different because, I'm blind. Well, people do look at you differently. It's just the reality of it. Am I still the same person? I am still the same person. But people don't look at me like I'm still the same person. So it's a lot. So when y'all are ridiculing people with disabilities, just please try to be kind because people are already dealing with a lot. And I'm not saying that everybody in general is not dealing with a lot, because in life itself, everybody deal with something. But when you don't have a disability, it's a whole lot easier for you to maneuver throughout life. It really is. So this is just my message for today. I appreciate everybody that decided to come on this live. Out like, if y'all see me sometimes, that means that I'm going through my funk. I go through my funk. I have accepted my faith, but I still have my good and my bad days. So if y'all don't see me, that mean pray for me, because that mean I'm going through it. But I appreciate everybody that has came on this live. If you don't mind, go ahead and share it. If you don't follow me on TikTok, you can find me at Your Favorite Blind Auntie. If you don't follow me on Facebook, it is Melissa Jackson. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, it's Melissa Jackson as well. But the E in Melissa is a 3. And y'all, at one point in time, I thought I was losing my mind. But that's another story for another time. And we will talk about it. Thanks for stopping by.